Scene script. Have you ever wondered what the foundation of Islam is built upon? It's a profound question, isn't it? And as it turns out, the answer is just as profound. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, once laid out the very essence of Islam in a concise, yet comprehensive manner. He stated that Islam is based on 5 key principles. First, the testimony of faith, which is the belief that there is no deity worthy of worship but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. This is the fundamental belief that underpins all aspects of a Muslim's life. The second pillar is the commitment to prayer. Muslims are obligated to offer the daily prayers dutifully and perfectly. These prayers, performed 5 times a day, serve as a constant reminder of our connection with our Creator, fostering a sense of gratitude, humility, and spiritual enrichment. Next, we have zakat, or the giving of alms. This is a form of obligatory charity that Muslims are required to pay, demonstrating a commitment to social justice and compassion for the less fortunate. It's not just about giving money, it's about fostering empathy and solidarity within the community. The fourth pillar is the Hajj, the pilgrimage to Mecca. This spiritual journey, undertaken at least once in a lifetime by those who are physically and financially able, is a powerful symbol of unity and equality, where millions of Muslims from around the world gather in one place for the same purpose. Lastly, the fifth pillar is the observance of fasting during the holy month of Ramadan. This period of intense prayer, reflection, and community engagement is a time for Muslims to purify their hearts, seek forgiveness, and grow closer to Allah. These 5 principles, known as the 5 pillars, form the very bedrock of a Muslim's faith. They are the guiding lights that illuminate the path of every Muslim, providing a roadmap for a life of faith, devotion, and service to others. Each pillar, in its own way, contributes to the development of a balanced and comprehensive understanding of the world and our place within it. But what truly defines faith in Islam? Let's delve into the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad to understand this better. The Prophet said, as narrated by Abu Huraira, that faith or belief consists of more than 60 branches. This means that faith is not just a singular concept, but a vast tree with many branches, each representing a different aspect of faith. One of these branches is haya, a term that covers a large number of concepts including self-respect, modesty, bashfulness, and scruple. This shows that faith in Islam is not just about belief in the divine, but it also extends to one's character and conduct. Abdullah bin Amr narrates that the Prophet said, "A Muslim is the one who avoids harming Muslims with his tongue and hands." This highlights the importance of not causing harm to others in Islam and how it is an integral part of one's faith. The essence of faith, therefore, lies not just in belief, but also in actions, in how we treat others, in the words we say and the deeds we do. The Prophet also said, as narrated by Abu Musa, that the best Muslim is one who avoids harming the Muslims with his tongue and hands. This reinforces the idea that faith is not just about belief, but it's also about our actions and their impact on others. Abdullah bin Amr narrates another incident where a man asked the Prophet, "What sort of deeds or what qualities of Islam are good?" The Prophet replied, "To feed the poor and greet those whom you know and those whom you do not know." Here we see that faith in Islam is deeply intertwined with kindness, generosity, and respect for all, regardless of whether we know them or not. Thus, faith in Islam is a multifaceted concept, not just about belief, but also about character and actions. It's about the choices we make, the words we say, the actions we perform, and the respect and kindness we show to others. It's about embodying the teachings of Islam in every aspect of our lives. Who then is considered a good Muslim, one might ask? In the Hadiths, Prophet Muhammad provided a clear answer to this question. Narrated by Abu Musa, some people once asked the Prophet, "Whose Islam is the best?" He replied, "One who avoids harming the Muslims with his tongue and hands." This statement emphasizes the importance of maintaining peace and harmony in the community, and how the actions of our tongue and hands can either build or destroy this unity. Abdullah bin Amr narrates another significant conversation with the Prophet. A man asked, "What sort of deeds or what qualities of Islam are good?" The Prophet replied, "To feed the poor and greet those whom you know and those whom you do not know." This reveals the essence of generosity and inclusivity in Islam. Feeding the poor is a concrete act of charity, a way of distributing wealth and ensuring that everyone in the community has access to basic needs. Meanwhile, greeting both acquaintances and strangers alike emphasizes the importance of social unity and respect, regardless of personal relationships. It's a simple action that promotes a sense of belonging and acceptance in the society. So, if we bring these narrations together, we can see that being a good Muslim extends beyond the realm of personal belief and prayer. It involves active engagement with the community. It requires us to be mindful of our actions and words, and it calls for us to be kind and charitable, not just to those we know, but to all people we encounter. In other words, being a good Muslim is about embodying the principles of Islam in our everyday life. It's about striving for peace, offering kindness, showing respect and sharing what we have with others. Being a good Muslim, therefore, is not just about fulfilling religious duties, but also about being kind, generous, and respectful to all. What then is the place of the Prophet in a Muslim's heart? This is a question that delves into the very core of what it means to be a Muslim, to live by the teachings of Islam and to have faith. To answer this, we turn to the Hadiths, the sayings of the Prophet Muhammad himself. In one narration by Anas, the Prophet Muhammad was asked about the nature of faith. His response was profound. He said, "None of you will have faith till he wishes for his Muslim brother what he likes for himself." This is a call for empathy, compassion, and mutual respect. However, he went further. In another narration by Abu Huraira, the Prophet Muhammad declared, "By him in whose hands my life is, none of you will have faith till he loves me more than his father and his children." And in yet another narration by Anas, he amplified this sentiment, stating, "None of you will have faith till he loves me more than his father, his children, and all mankind." These are powerful statements that underscore the deep love and respect a Muslim must have for the Prophet Muhammad. It is not just about admiration or reverence. It is about a love that surpasses all other forms of affection. A love that transcends familial bonds, friendship, and even the love for oneself. This love is not born out of obligation, but out of a deep respect and gratitude for the Prophet's teachings, his sacrifices, and his unwavering commitment to spreading the message of Islam. It is a love that is nurtured through understanding, through reflection, and through living by the principles he taught. In essence, the love for the Prophet Muhammad is a testament to one's faith. It is a reflection of how deeply ingrained the teachings of the Prophet are in a Muslim's life. It is a measure of one's dedication to the path of righteousness, to the principles of Islam, and to the pursuit of a life that is pleasing to Allah. Love for the Prophet, therefore, is a key aspect of a Muslim's faith, reflecting their deep respect and gratitude for his teachings. What does it mean to truly delight in one's faith? This is a question that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, addressed in a hadith narrated by Anas. The Prophet explains that the sweetness or delight of faith is found in three key qualities. Firstly, it is found in the love for Allah and His Prophet. This love is not a simple affection, but a profound devotion that surpasses all other attachments. It is the kind of love that places Allah and His Prophet above anything else in this world. This means that our loyalty, our commitment, our decisions, our actions, and our very hearts are guided by this love. Secondly, the sweetness of faith is found in the love we have for others, purely for the sake of Allah. This is a love that is not based on self-interest, not based on personal gain, but solely on the bond of faith. It is a love that seeks the best for others, that prays for their well-being, and that extends kindness and compassion without expecting anything in return. Lastly, the sweetness of faith is found in our fear of disbelief, a fear that is likened to the fear of being thrown into a fire. This is not a fear that paralyzes, but a fear that motivates. It motivates us to constantly seek knowledge, to continuously strive in our faith, and to persistently guard against anything that may lead us away from the path of righteousness. These three qualities together create a deep sense of delight in one's faith. They transform faith from a mere set of beliefs to a living, breathing, vibrant part of one's life. They make faith a source of joy, a source of peace, and a source of strength. The sweetness of faith, therefore, comes from a deep love for Allah and His Prophet, as well as a strong desire to stay true to one's beliefs. What does it mean to pledge allegiance to the Prophet? A question that beckons us to delve into the depths of Islamic teachings. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was not only a spiritual guide, but also a moral compass for his disciples. He served as an embodiment of virtue, righteousness, and the divine commandments of Allah. Pledging allegiance to him was, therefore, a commitment to uphold these values, a promise to live a life of virtue and righteousness. Let's journey back in time to a night when Ubadah bin as-Samit, a companion of the Prophet who participated in the Battle of Badr, narrates an incident. The Prophet was surrounded by a group of his companions under the cover of darkness at Al-Aqaba. He asked his followers to swear allegiance to him, but this was not a mere political or military allegiance. It was a spiritual and moral pledge, one that extended beyond the confines of this worldly life. The Prophet laid out 6 tenets for this pledge. First, to worship none but Allah, a reaffirmation of the core Islamic belief in monotheism. Second, to abstain from stealing, an act that disrupts societal harmony. Third, to refrain from illegal sexual intercourse, a commitment to uphold the sanctity of personal relationships. Fourth, not to kill children, a prohibition against the most heinous of crimes. Fifth, to avoid false accusations, a call to uphold truth and justice. And finally, to be obedient in performing good deeds, a commitment to contribute positively to society. The Prophet, peace be upon him, made a promise to his followers. He said, "Whoever among you fulfills his pledge will be rewarded by Allah." This is a reminder that our actions in this life have consequences in the afterlife. The Prophet also assured that if a person commits any of these sins but faces the punishment in this world, it would serve as an expiation for their sin. Pledging allegiance to the Prophet, therefore, involves a commitment to live a life of virtue and righteousness. It's a journey towards becoming a better human being, a journey towards attaining the pleasure of Allah. What does the Prophet say about the end times? A question that has intrigued many and continues to do so. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, had profound insights into the future. One such prediction was narrated by Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, a companion of the Prophet. He shares with us the Prophet's words about a time to come when the best property of a Muslim will not be gold or land, but rather sheep. This might seem perplexing in our modern world, where wealth is often measured in monetary terms or material possessions. Yet the Prophet's words carry a deeper meaning. In this prophecy, the Prophet speaks of a time when Muslims will seek refuge in remote locations, taking their sheep to the tops of mountains and places of rainfall, also known as valleys. But why sheep, you might ask? Well, in the context of the time, sheep were a symbol of self-sufficiency. They provided milk, meat, and wool, essentially everything that one would need to survive. But the crux of this prophecy is not about survival. Rather, it's about the preservation of faith. The Prophet foretells a time of such affliction and tribulation that a Muslim's most valuable asset will be their ability to retreat and preserve their religion, their faith in Allah and His teachings. Sheep, mountains and valleys are symbols here, signifying the need for Muslims to remain steadfast and resilient in their faith, even in the face of adversity. It's a call for spiritual strength and resilience, a reminder that the material possessions we often chase are transient, but faith is eternal. This prophecy serves as a sobering reminder of the trials and tribulations that may lie ahead. Yet, it is also a beacon of hope, a guide on how to navigate through these challenging times. As Muslims, it encourages us to prioritize our faith, to hold fast to the teachings of Islam, to be self-sufficient, and to seek solitude in times of great affliction. The Prophet's prediction serves as a reminder for Muslims to always hold fast to their faith, no matter the circumstances. To sum it all up, we've journeyed through the profound wisdom and teachings of the Prophet Muhammad, starting from the 5 pillars of Islam, the fundamental tenets that guide every Muslim's life. We delved into the essence of faith, understanding its complexity and richness, extending beyond mere belief into a multitude of branches, including modesty, self-respect, and scruple. We explored what it means to be a good Muslim, with the emphasis placed on kindness, respect, and avoiding harm to others. We discussed the deep-seated love for the Prophet, an essential part of faith, and the sweetness of faith that stems from this love and devotion. We also touched on the solemn pledge of allegiance, underscoring the importance of living a righteous life. And finally, we pondered over the Prophet's prediction of the end times, a stark reminder of the transient nature of this world. May these teachings of the Prophet Muhammad guide us in our journey of faith, helping us to live lives of virtue, righteousness, and love for all.